Yeah, rough night for the Hawks. Felt like there was really no flow to the game. We couldn't get our transition game going. It wasn't really good Iowa basketball. 9 assists on 16 turnovers is really not us, but I want to give credit to Kansas State. I thought their defense was excellent. They're long. They got a good rim protector. Neither team shot the ball well. It was really extraordinary low for us. It really came down to that fourth quarter. They beat us in the fourth quarter. They beat us at crunch time.
Last year's matchup was kind of similar. It was higher scoring, but it kind of felt like, one of those gritty matchups again. What did they kind of do to make the games like that?
I think they're just so good defensively. I mean, they're long. They're in great position. They got back in transition really well. So I think it's just they play really good defense.
Caitlin, what's the most disappointing element of tonight for you?
I think, like Coach Woodard said, it's just not Iowa basketball, and me as the point guard, I kind of have to take responsibility for that. I have to get us into our offense a little better. I have to have a little better shot selection, and there's going to be nights where I don't shoot the ball very well, and I don't think I really helped myself in getting to the basket and taking advantage of fouls when we needed to. But we can still win games when we don't shoot the ball well. So there was a lot of other areas that we can also improve on, and we have to understand we're not going to shoot the ball great every game. I'm not going to shoot the ball great every game, but we have to find other ways to win. And I thought that's the biggest area we grew last year, and another area we can grow in this year. And I think the maturity of this group will understand, this loss isn't going to break our season or whatever. It's just going to teach us a lot of things we can get better at, and that's the exciting part. We get to come back to work and play a really, really good Drake team on Sunday.
Caitlin, KSU's coach talked about sending waves at you on defense, especially in transition. Is that something that really, frustrated you, and how do you adjust for that going forward in the season?
Yeah, I think just our transition in general as a whole wasn't very good. Not many pass break points, and that's what we pride ourselves in, is playing really good offense in transition, and that's just not something we got to, and that was the key to the game that Coach Bluter wrote on the whiteboard before we started, and it's not something we executed. So, they played great defense, but I don't feel like it was anything I've never seen in my life before. It's just, an off night for myself, and credit them. They came ready to play. We're physical, we're tough. Forced me to take a lot of difficult shots, and it gave me many clean looks, and those are shots I can make, but also feel like we could work the ball a little better and get some easier looks for myself and my teammates.
Caitlin, do you have a night like tonight, I guess, do you the first quarter was kind of, it seemed like everything was a little, like Coach Bluter was saying, just a little bit off. There was some timing, passes and things. Did it sort of feel like this was one of those games where you guys are still trying to get the timing that maybe came a little easier last year?
Absolutely. I felt it started off kind of rough for us, and it never felt like we were really able to get our feet back under us and regain full control of the game. We had some good moments. We did some good things from time to time, but, me not finishing cuts or throwing the ball out of bounds, or a lot in the first half we just had it go off of our hands out of bounds, which is not like us. It just seemed like we were a little off cue in that way, and still getting used to playing with one another, but at the same time, those aren't mistakes we usually make on a day-to-day basis. So just come back to practice and get better and get on the same page, and all you can do is respond.
Lisa, early this season, the three-point shooting hasn't been real great. I don't have stats in front of me. Do you feel like you're getting good looks? Is there something other that's contributing to that, or just what are your thoughts on the three-point shooting so far?
Yeah, I think our shooters are getting good looks. I think Caitlin, has some hard ones, but she makes some hard ones as well. But I think everybody else is getting some pretty good looks.
Is that part of the most disappointing part for you, Lisa, is seeing a couple of your veterans that really didn't do much offensively for you tonight, and you were kind of relying on Caitlin to bail you out throughout most of the game?
Yeah, and it's just, I think that's disappointing. I know how hard they work on shooting. I do, and we just have to give other people more opportunities to shoot threes and create opportunities for them to shine, because we really aren't giving people opportunities sometimes to shine like they're capable of.
Lisa, I asked Jeff this. We were in the second week of the season. We already had 2 number 2s go down. Number 1, UConn lost her, and then 19-2. I know this isn't fun when you're a higher ranked team, but just what it says about what's going on even this early in the season with this award.
Yeah, just such great parity. I mean, Kansas State is a good team that was receiving votes, and again, they have all the elements to be a really good team, except for they didn't shoot the ball well tonight. I mean, until the fourth quarter, and that's when Aoka Lee had 10 of her 22 points was in the fourth quarter. You know, they only got 1 3 in the second half. Again, I thought we did some decent things defensively, other than we just didn't take the momentum when we could have. Like when we were in the bonus situation, not taking advantage of that, or not drawing fouls on people when we have the opportunity to draw fouls on them. And that's where we have to learn. We have to understand what's going to win us games isn't always look the best, but it's the smartest.
You mentioned drawing fouls on their players. Pretty physical game, a lot of contact that didn't get called. How do you as a coach sort of adjust to that as the game's going on?
I mean, I don't know if you can adjust to it as the game goes on. I mean, there's 3 officials out there. Which one's going to be underneath your basket? Which one's going to call it? I mean, it's just, I think you got to play your game. I don't think you can adjust a whole lot. I mean, it's too hard to adjust to each individual, and there's 3 of them out there on the floor.
Molly, what gets you going there in the second half, especially early in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, I knew that our outside shots weren't falling, and so I wanted to make an emphasis to get to the rim. So I came in there with an attack mentality to try and draw some fouls and also get to the rim and try and open some other things up as well.
Lisa, I think for the most part, the post defense for you guys has been pretty solid, but offensively, you guys haven't really gotten a lot of contributions there. How do you kind of get that going? Do you feel like that's going to be a big key going forward?
I mean, our center shot 58% from the field tonight. 58%. Okay, I mean, they shot the ball really well. Hannah gets 1 shot in the second half. I mean, she was 4 for 5, and then she gets 1 shot in the whole second half. Sharon Goodman's 2 for 3. Addie O'Grady's 1 for 3. That's 58% shooting by our posts. They need to have more looks. They need to have more. We have to have faith in them. Right now, I don't know that we do, and we have to have faith in them.
Is that, does that mean calling more plays to go towards them? Like, how do you get them more looks in game, I guess?
I think that we have to look for them more. I mean, it's just, setting more screens for them. And having the opportunity to get them the ball. I think we could have gotten them the ball a little bit more tonight.
Caitlin, you mentioned you guys lost State last year. I mean, you mentioned about learning from the early losses last year. Do you feel like this is that type of game that you guys can benefit from, even though it sucks right now, but that you can learn something from it?
Yeah, I think it's certainly one we can learn from, and probably taught us a lot of lessons of how we can get better. We need more people to be able to contribute, and that's on me to get them involved in the game, especially on nights where I might not shoot the ball as great as, rely on my teammates, get them open, get them a clean look. But at the same time, I think it shows, you got to come in every single day and be ready to play basketball because, no matter who it is, no matter who you're stepping on the court with, you can beat anybody, you can lose to anybody, and that's the great thing about women's basketball. That's what makes it so fun. I'm just disappointed we didn't really put on a great performance for our fans who came out and supported us really well, and we take a lot of pride in being undefeated on our home court, but there's nothing we can do to go back in time and change that. All you can do is learn and move forward and get better, and like I said, Drake's going to be a really, really great challenge for us and see how we respond, and I think it's going to show a lot about this group.